Hello YouTube and welcome back. This is going to be my first Mental Health Monday video. And so in my weekly videos of like recording me going to school and like the things I do during the week, I have been doing mental health checkups, but to prevent my videos from being so long, I decided that I would do Mental Health Mondays and talk about how my therapy sessions went the previous week. So I went to therapy on Thursday, and if you watched my video from last week, but at this point I have not uploaded it, but the video that will be released from the week prior, this is the week of, hold on, the 19th, I believe. No, the week of the 26th. So the week of the 26th, that was a really rough week for me. I recorded a few moments here and there about it. Monday started off really well, and then Tuesday it just went downhill. It was horrible. Emotionally, I was unable to just get myself together. Tuesday and Wednesday were really the roughest days for me. Tuesday I probably cried all day. Wednesday I was able to mask how I was feeling, which is not healthy, and make it through the day. But when I got home, I just cried and cried and cried. Thursday was a little better, I believe. I had to study for an exam on Friday, so I really didn't have time to be sad, which is crazy because you need those moments. And so sometimes I do allow myself time to cry, or journal, or anything that I need to do. Read some of the books that Julie, who is my therapist, has given me, or spend time with God and read my Bible. But this past week, the resources that Julie gave me was not strong enough for me to make it through. So prayer was my weapon. It's always my weapon, but sometimes I can listen to music, or read my Bible, read like motivational quotes and stuff, and then that can kind of help me get through like a little bit of the situation. But none of that was working this week, so a lot of my time I spent praying. I think I had a meeting. So this is about pharmacy school, just a little brief intermission, but I'm trying to get a residency program, and you have to do research. So me and one of my good friends in pharmacy school, we're doing research together, and we had to meet, I believe it was like on Thursday, with one of our professors. But Thursday was so hard for me. I had to leave class, go home. I had to come home, and I had to I blasted gospel music. I listened to I think it's called Greater Is Coming, and I listened to Thankful, I believe, by Mary. I'll write the songs that I listen to in the description below, because maybe they'll be great songs for you to listen to if you're a believer. But they really helped me. I listened to those on repeat. I cried. I got on my knees. It was like my time with God. It was probably for like 3 hours. I cried and I prayed and repeat, cried and prayed, and did that over again. And then at the end of that, when I found myself in a space where I can come back to earth, for lack of a better term, I used my meditation that Julie had told me about, and I just laid down and I listened to a meditation thing on my Calm app, and that really kind of helped me to just get back. And I was able to finish the day, study for my exam, go do the research project that I needed to do with my friend. And it really helped because, y'all, I have so much going on, and trying to balance my mental health, school, work, all of that. Like, you have to be in tip-top shape because it's hard. So I'm really proud of myself for making it through this week. And I think that's another thing that we have to make sure we do for people that are going through a healing process or trying to just be better. You have to give yourself credit for the small things also. And I almost feel like I didn't make it through last week, but I did. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm proud of myself for pushing through. I'm thankful for my support system, my close friends that really lifted me up when I couldn't find it in myself to just be strong. I did really well on my exams last week. Of course my phone is gonna ring. Y'all, Jalen is one of my great friends, okay? And I tell her every single time I'm recording, she always calls at the worst times. So whenever she decides to, hold on, let me just, I'm sorry, y'all. But back to what I was saying. I don't even know what I was saying. But anyways, moving forward, I made it through the week, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy that I was able to successfully pass my exams this past week, because it was a struggle for me to even study. So with that, Thursday I went to my therapy session, and it was intense. We went back to my childhood, and we talked about a lot of things that I do not like talking about. So I'm not ready to share what we talked about in depth, but I thought I was, but I just had this anxious moment that I'm not ready. So anyways, we talked about how it was like a codependent chart. And so as a baby, there's things that you need from your parents for you to be able to be successful in your adulthood, which is so crazy to me, because I'm like, you're a baby, like, you don't really know. I mean, you need love, you need food, obviously, like those kind of things, but it was down to like your needs and your wants, affection. You are allowed to just be a baby. You're allowed to, like, because you're more aware of things that are going on around you when you're a child than you really know, and those things transfer over into your adulthood. So when I was going through the chart with Julie, only part of my needs that was met was that I was fed, which is sad, because I don't recall like being a baby or a child and affection. My grandmother and my aunt were the two people that I can fondly remember that were there, or that showed me like affection and love and told me that I'm amazing or whatever. So that was the only two people that I could recall when I was a child, because I just remember I don't really like, my mom was in my life. I don't want to act like she wasn't, but I don't remember my mom ever really being affectionate when I was a child. So we talked about that, and so she showed me how if certain things weren't met as a child, how they show up in your life later on, whether it be depression, whether you be you feel better than everybody or you feel less than. And my struggle is feeling like that I'm not enough. So I'm always trying to compensate for that in other areas of my life, where I feel like that's what's motivated me to go to school and, you know, do really well in school. That motivates me in my work ethic. Like, I work really, really, really hard. And that could very well just be because my mom was a hard worker, but also I feel like a lot of it stems from trying to suppress not feeling like I'm enough. So I have to go and compensate for that and then be better in other things. And so I asked Julie, I was like, well, why is it coming up now? Because, you know, school is a whole hot mess. So it's like, why all of a sudden did I want to decide like today, you know, or while I'm in an accelerated program during the most stressful course load ever, do I want to deal with my problems? But she said, because I've never dealt with them as a child or been to therapy or faced what really happened to me, that's why they're coming up now. It usually surfaces when you're going through rough situations or really hectic situations. And so right now school is a lot. I think I've told y'all that I'm in a lot of organizations. My course load is heavy. I work a lot of jobs, whatever. So why not add more to it, you know? So anyways, that's why this is surfacing now, and I really am happy that I'm able to tackle it, because y'all graduate next year, and next year I don't want to have to deal with past trauma, because I want to live. I want to know what it feels like to genuinely be happy without any residual left over from, whether it be relationships, my childhood, friendships. Like, I'm just ready to really know what it feels like to be healthy, happy, and whole. And so really putting in the work so that I can make sure that it happens. Now, I'm not putting a time limit or a time frame on my healing process, because that's too much pressure, and that's what I always do to myself. I'm just taking it day by day. And honestly, this week I just took it minute by minute, because I was just trying to make it through the next 5 minutes without having a mental breakdown. So I'm very patient with myself. We did an exercise where I had to just close my eyes and just think about one person that really loves me, and one person that I know will sit in front of me and accept me for who I am, and not judge me, but be able to just see all the good things, I guess, about myself. And so my aunt is like the most positive person. She's such a sweetheart. That is the one person I know, regardless of what has happened in my life, how I feel about myself, I know that if she sat in front of me and just looked at me, she would see, she just thinks I'm so great and I'm so amazing. Like, she just, look in her eyes, I can do no wrong almost. And so that was the person that I sat and thought about. And then Julie had me take myself out of me and put myself in and look at myself through my aunt's eyes. And what's so crazy is that even though I'm telling you guys that my aunt would see no wrong in me, when I tried to look at myself in her eyes, only thing I did was criticize myself. I just was thinking, oh, well, you don't feel strong, you did this, XYZ, whatever. So, but then I took a step back and I was like, no, be in the moment and feel how your aunt would feel if she was looking at you. And so I shared that with Julie, and she said, Dorothea, what I want you to do is like call your aunt and, you know, just ask her to describe you in 3 words, and just talk to some people that you know really care about you and have your best interest at heart, and ask them to describe you in 3 words. But she told me, she was like, now you can't disagree if they say something bad, because you have to respect what they say. But she was like, I'm pretty positive that they would say positive things about you, and anytime that you're feeling like you're not enough or you're inadequate, I want you to rest in those words that they told you. So I haven't really acted on that yet. I haven't done it, but I have talked to like 2 of my friends, and I told them what happened, and then they just gave me like feedback, and they would say, oh, like, you know, you're amazing, you're this. And so I shared this also with my dad. So every time he calls me now, he's like, you're amazing, Dorothea, and I love you, and you are awesome. Just like really positive things. And it has made like a really huge difference in my life in these past 2 days, because it's hard for me to tell myself this stuff, but when you keep hearing it over and over again, you're like, dang, maybe I do believe it. And so that's the trouble, or the hard part that I've been dealing with. 28 years of my life, I've been dealing with people either making me feel like I'm not enough, or me beating myself down. That's easy for me to do. I'm so good at telling myself terrible things, being negative. Like, that is so easy for me. Now, trying to convince myself of things that's positive, that's where I struggle. So hearing other people say great things about me, it's a great feeling, and also you kind of start believing it, so it makes me happy. But anyways, that was one of the exercises that we did, and she just kind of just went back and just started from the very beginning of time, and we're just going to go through all the years of my life and just make sense of it, heal from it, deal with it, sit in it. And that's been the hardest thing, you guys. Like, thinking about things that have hurt you and things that you've tried to suppress, sitting in that hurt and not trying to fill a void or cover it up by things that take the pain away. It's hard. It's really, really hard. But I am determined to face these fears. I'm determined to face this hurt, this trauma, and get better. And I'm dealing with that. And then I'm also, again, like I've been telling you guys, healing from a long relationship that was really important. Like, it was a big part of my life. That person, you know, was a big part of my life. So trying to just heal from that and realize or understand my life without that person and doing, like, it's hard. So it's a lot, but I'm ready to be better and I'm ready to heal, because it's not fun being sad. It's not fun, you know, being hurt or anything like that. So I'm just ready to wholeheartedly get better. And I know it's not going to be an overnight process, but I'm excited that I've taken the necessary steps to do so. So I plan to have these kind of conversations with you all. Every Monday is when I plan to release a Mental Health Monday video to talk about what I've, how my week went and what I learned in my therapy session. And so I didn't really get that much this week. I guess like coping mechanisms, but just sitting down and owning up to the great person that you are. If you feel like you're not enough or whatever the case may be, just accept it. Like, if you're a good person, you have a kind heart, like, own that and live in that. And that's what I'm trying to do. And it's a great feeling. It's not easy all the time. It has not been easy this week. This week was probably, all of January has been just a hot mess, but this past week was just, whew, it was enough. It was enough. I'm ready. I'm glad that January is over. It's now February 2nd. I'm so thankful. I'm ready to be, January was just trash. I don't even want to go back. I don't want to think about it. I just want to let January be where January is. So, but I'm in a good place today. I woke up, I prayed, I demanded heaven to move on my situation fast and quick. And I know it's not going to happen overnight, but God gave me a sense of peace today that I can't even, that really surpasses all understanding. And that's what I pray all the time, because I don't understand where it came from. It doesn't make sense to me, because I was just so, I was actually real sad yesterday on Saturday, but today I woke up and I was in a positive place. I studied my butt off today with my friend, and I was just able to think straight. So I'm thankful for that. I'm so happy for that. And that's about it. I go to therapy again on Thursday or Wednesday, and I will talk to you guys and let you know how that goes. I thank you so much for being so supportive. I thank you guys for being understanding, and I thank you guys for just continue to watch me grow and come along with me on this journey. If you have any questions, or if there's anything that I can help you with, or you want me to elaborate on, please just write me and let me know. Oh, another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I was very selective this week with who I allowed myself to talk to. I put my phone on, I think I talked about this in my video about week in the life of a pharmacy student, but I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I was very selective with the people that I allowed to have access to me this week. And I feel like that was very important, because I couldn't handle dealing with anybody else's problems this week. I barely could handle my own problems. So it was important for me to not allow anybody that may have caused me any other stress, because a lot of this month I feel like I've been taking on a lot of people's problems all while dealing with myself, and I was at a solid 0 for energy, for motivation, just anything. It was an empty cup. I was not filled. I couldn't give. And this week I didn't feel sorry about it. I was just protecting my peace and really operating in that, and knowing that I cannot give to anybody. So I'm not going to, and I'm going to just heal and work on myself and just try and make it through the week. And that's exactly what I did. And it was very beneficial for me, because had I tried to take on anybody else's problems, y'all would have lost my marbles. Like, I would have lost it, because I was already losing it by myself, let alone trying to be strong for somebody else when I can't even be strong for me. So anyways, this video, I'm going to try not to make them so long, but I mean, I hope this just helps, and I would like feedback on what do you guys think, or things that you would rather me, or things that you want me to talk about that I don't discuss. But thank you. I love you all, and I will see you next Monday with another Mental Health Monday video. Love you. Bye.